morning and welcome to Friday's assembly. Well done for another excellent week. We've had our Treetops pupils back now for several weeks, and we've also had Year 6 and Year 1 working really well. And I'm delighted that I was able to write to your parents on Wednesday to give them a bit of an update about our plan to be able to admit more year groups back starting from Monday of next week through to the following Monday, where we'll be in a position of having all year groups back in school. And when I reflect on that, I have to say it really does fill my heart with joy. I'm so very much looking forward to having all of our children back. I myself am able to return on the 22nd, and I'm very much looking forward to that too. So today's assembly, I want to talk to all of you, our pupils, and I'm very much hoping your parents as well, because I've got some critical messaging around the process of bringing all of our pupils back in to Duncombe before the end of this summer term. It seems like an age ago that I did my first one of these assemblies from my office, and the government had just announced, you may remember, that we were going to have to close all schools across the United Kingdom. And that was something that was never happened before in my lifetime, your parents' lifetimes, and certainly not yours. And I remember reading to you a letter from the King that had been written during the just after the end of the Second World War. And I spoke in that about character, and I spoke about how we would work together. We would show resolve, resilience, and the ability to make the best of a difficult situation. And I'm delighted to say that I was proven absolutely right, and Team Duncombe did indeed rise to the occasion, as it has in the process of seeing children return, first in the first wave of those year groups that were allowed back, and now this second wave, because the government have said that it is possible for other year groups to return if it is safe to do so. And so over the last few days, I've been working very hard with my leadership team and with the staff, and we have worked on our risk assessment and our plan. But it only works and will only be successful if everybody plays their part. And so what I want to talk to you about today is actually a document that was sent a little while ago, and it's been resent again, and it looks, and you'll probably see this up on your screen, it looks like this, and it is our Duncombe COVID-19 Golden Rules. Now, every one of you has been sent that via email, and I'm going to ask your parents, if they have the ability to print it out, please do so. If you don't, I want you to read this through very carefully with your children before they come back. I know that many families that have already returned have done so. It talks about some of the things we must do, all of us, if we are to do this properly. And the first one it says is to wash your hands before you come into school. That means before you leave your house, you must thoroughly wash your hands. And upon arrival to school, when you are admitted into the building, that means let in, the first thing you'll be instructed to do by a member of staff is to go and wash your hand in the correct place. It's really important throughout the school day that all people follow the instructions around washing hands as well. And we'll have plenty of opportunities for it, but we know that if we wash our hands, that's one of the most effective ways of handling the spread of any viruses or bacteria, including COVID-19. Now, as part of the document I sent to parents, every year group has got specific spaces and places to go to at the beginning of the day for drop-off and the end of the day. Now, I've been speaking with my staff regularly, and I know we wrote to some year groups right at the start to say it's absolutely critical that you don't congregate. And I'm talking particularly to parents here, but to you as pupils as well. We have these pods as a way of minimising the spread of any infections. It won't last forever, and I'll come on to that in a minute in these golden rules, but it is critical. So parents, you must drop off at the right place at the right time, following the instructions, and it is not a time for you to have a chat with any other members of your friends, you have to do that away from the school site. And that's exactly the same at the end of the school day. When we've handed the children over to you, the children can't then go off and play, otherwise it renders all of the work that we're doing completely ineffectual. You must do your part. You must support this. It's not an opt-out for anyone. I said that very, very clearly a few weeks ago. It's not, well, that's the rules for everyone else, but I'm special and different. It's absolutely for everybody. And that's for our children, for our staff, and for your safety. So you must get behind this to make this work. We've got a new one-way system inside the school, and there's really clear arrows, and you will learn where the places to go and when to go, and we'll make sure that all our returning pupils know what to do at the right times. We'll stay with your pod throughout the day. Now, what does that mean? Well, the government said that only 15 children per group or pod, I think some have used the term bubble, same thing, can be taught at any one time, and they must stay together. Now, what does that mean? Well, for some of our year groups, it means exactly forms, because our classes are 15 or 14 and 15. It works, it's easy. But for other of our year groups returning, it's not so easy, because there are more than 30 children in the year group. So there's every chance, needs to be really clear, every chance that you might not be with your normal form, that you might be with other children from across the year group. And your parents are going to have to be accepting of that. They are going to have to be flexible about that, because it's the only way that we can make it work safely. But as it says in the pods, although you will be with your pods at playtime, it isn't forever. You will still be able to see your friends. The 2 meters social distancing means that you can sit at one end of a bench and another on the other side, over on another bench, and you can easily have a chat and talk, and you'll still see your friends. So there's really nothing to worry about. Now, it says in the golden rules that we won't be sharing our belongings and equipment, so we won't be lending out our pencils or anything like that, but what we will do is share our good ideas and encouragement. And of course, if you don't feel well, then you must tell the adult that's with your pod, and then together we'll be able to sort that out. And of course, if you're feeling worried about anything, just as normal, you tell the member of your pod, and together we will sort it out. And then the final thing it says is that if you have a sneeze coming, you need to blow your nose, you have a cough, you should use a tissue into your tissue should you cough or sneeze, catch it, roll it up, put it in the bin, that gets rid of it, and then we wash our hands. Now, sometimes we get caught out, and you might have seen people do that, and they put the fold of their arm or their elbow and they sneeze into that. That's the next best thing. It's not perfect, but it's better than just doing it out. So it's a very exciting time, and the chances are that over the next few days I'll actually get to see you arriving at school or around school over the next few days. And by the time we get to the 29th, all of our boys and girls will have the opportunity to come back to school. Now, normally at the end of the academic year, we have big events, don't we? And we're not going to be able to do those things in the same way. Things like speech day can't happen because we can't have big congregated groups. It's just not possible at this moment in time. But that doesn't mean that we won't be able to mark the end of this academic year. And in fact, actually, it's really important that we have the chance to do that. And so, as I've said in the document to your parents, whilst we won't have speech day where lots of parents come in and we all dress up in our finest clothes and all those sorts of things, we can't do that this year. But every year group, we will have a celebration assembly for the whole year, and it will be with your pods down in the dell, all together but spread out. We will have the opportunity to celebrate our achievements. I'll be saying a few words to each year group, and we'll also give out our prizes, and we'll take lovely photographs and put those into a celebratory newsletter for all of our families to join in. And even though it's not the same as speech day, it can't replicate that, we will still mark it because it's really important that we have that opportunity to do that. And we will do that across the final week in different time slots, and we'll tell you all about that when you're back. The other thing is obviously our year sixes are working hard. I know they're working hard on a song, and our heads of school will still do speeches. It will be slightly different, but they're going to do that. And we're going to have that celebrationary assembly, and we will video elements of that, and we will share that with year six families specifically. And I'm very much looking forward to that as a celebration. Again, it's not the same as we would be able to normally do, but we're going to do something to really make it a lovely ending for our year sixes. I know our year threes are working on a lovely poem, and I think reception have got something going on as a song as well. So we'll make sure that those things that are happening will get recorded and shared as appropriate. And obviously we always follow our instructions around those families that don't allow videoing or photographs of their children, and we will make sure that that's all followed. So my message to you is, one, well done for your resilience. Well done for those elements of character. Now they are going to be really critical as we make a success of our children returning. Parents, please follow the instructions of the timings and at pick up. Please don't allow your children to go wandering around. If you do, I will have to say quite publicly, can you stop doing that? I don't want to have to do that, so please don't put me in that position. Please support us so that we can make this as safe as we possibly can, and as jolly and as pleasant as we possibly can, so that we can end the summer term on a real high, which frankly, going into all of this, we didn't know whether we'd be able to, and I'm absolutely delighted and thrilled that we can. So let's bring things to a conclusion, and let's put our hands together and our eyes closed as we say the Lord's Prayer together, and please join me if you will. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For yours is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Lovely. Have a lovely weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Look after one another. Continue to be kind to one another. Just all those characteristics that we spoke about. I look forward to seeing some of you return on Monday, and then later in the week, and then by the following Monday we'll have everybody have the opportunity to come back to school, and I really look forward to seeing you. So take care. Have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye now.